As a kid, I always kind of wanted to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of kids do. And honestly, I wasn't really good at school, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really like looking to go to college, I wasn't always like a happy person too. Like LA really just killed me for a little bit. And it's so is great as it is, if you don't have like family there or friends like I did, it's really hard to make it there. I mean, I've worked for CEOs. I've also worked for Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics. So working for all of these people and like big business people, it really just, I feel like, taught me more than some schools will teach motherfuckers these days. You know what I mean? In life in general, I think a lot of people drink and probably even smoke too much sometimes, depending on the person, to try to just, I don't know, put shit under the rug, sweep things under the rug. And so for me, alcohol, a lot of the time, it brought out a lot of issues.
This confidence, this vulnerability, there's a lot of power in that. Do you think everybody can grab some power if they were this vulnerable as you and like this open?
Yeah. And they would be able to receive a lot of love, because when you are able to show who you really are and you're able to just show that you're human, people relate to that and people feel more connected with you. And then that's how you can build also a little bit of trust. I mean, I used to be so scared. I remember going to a networking event and then I went for like 15, 20 minutes and I left. And I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done, because it's scary. But you're not going to be successful unless you like really put yourself out there. So bring some excitement to the community, because listen, not a lot of people have money, even now, not a lot of people have money. And like for me growing up, my parents couldn't take me to Disneyland, you know what I mean? Or take me to water parks all the time. So it's like my goal was to try to create some fun shit for people to enjoy locally. Honestly, we're the only ones that can make a difference in each other's lives. Is people got to be about people.
Yes.
You really have to want to connect with people and help each other, because even the government don't care about us too. One day they're like, you know what, Yesi, Cody with the bow tie, he messaged me, he's like, oh, my producer loved you, they want to invite you on again. And I'm like, okay, well, this fucking time I'm gonna take more control of the conversation and where it's going.
Yes.
When I can help someone make some fucking money, and that makes a difference in their lives, because people have kids, people have families they need to provide for at the end of the day. And so one of the most rewarding things was like seeing my friend after her segment, like 10 minutes later, she showed me her email. Fucking orders were coming in. We had a little moment, and I mean, I still had to keep going, but I got a little choked up. I know how hard it is to be a small business, and if I can highlight these people on the news, the people that really deserve it too. I don't just put anybody on the fucking news. Like they say everything happens for a reason, and I don't have any regrets about my life. I don't have any really complaints. Everything happens for a reason, the good and the bad. I appreciate it all.
What's up, Raza? Welcome back to the Valley Vibes podcast. I am your host, Roman. Today's special guest, you've seen her on Good Day Sacramento. You know her as Good Day Yesi. You heard her podcast, Yesi.com. And she even has her own business, Flower Baby Designs. Yesi, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I truly appreciate the opportunity you gave me to be able to interview you and talk about life in LA, life coming back to the Valley, how you've been on this journey, what you learned, things you've encountered, how you ended up on Good Day Sacramento, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the truth. Thank you for being so authentic and genuine. I had a lot of fun shooting this episode, and I learned a lot about life. I learned some things about love, and thank you for being such a positive energy in the Central Valley that we all need. And my favorite thing about you and about her is that she's one for the people. If you go follow all her pages, she shouts out, supports everyone she can, and she's a great person to have around, and she's a vibe. I'd consider her she's definitely a Valley vibe. So without further ado, here's Yesi.com, Good Day Yesi, Flower Baby, all that down below. Check her out, please. Peace. Yesi, bienvenida.
Oh, muchísimas gracias. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Welcome to the Valley Vibes podcast.
Fuck yeah. Cheers.
Salud. Oh, take that.
Take that for you.
Yeah, take it for me. Because if I take a hit, the show's going to be over.
Right. No, it's all good. I just took one for you.
Thank you. Gracias. Yesi.com, Flower Baby Designs, Good Day Yesi, and owner of Industry Nights.
Yeah. creator of industry notes.
Damn. And that's the only things you talk about. I can only imagine all the behind the scenes, the background people don't know about. Looking into you, thank you for what you do for the community. Where are you from?
Modesto, California.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
OG. Hey, and another thing, episode 20, OG native.
Hey, what's up, 209?
You're my first guest from Modesto.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of Stockton love, Gall, Sacramento. First one from Modesto.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I hope for many more to come.
Hell yeah.
I really want to get into the whole LA drama. I want to get into, of course, you reporting, of course, your business. But before all that, I need to go back to a couple years back where when you were fresh out of high school, graduating Johansson's, apparently 18 years old, and off to LA you go to the College of Arts.
Yeah, California Design College.
First of all, was that your first choice? Because their art is really big, like in Frisco. It's really big in Hollywood. It's really big, I think, even in New York. What did you? Was that number one, or did you always want to go to LA?
I think as a kid, I always kind of wanted to be famous. I think a lot of kids do, but I never really was like, oh, I got to go to LA. You know what I mean? I went to LA because when I was in Johansson my senior year, I was taking a sewing class. And there was a speaker that was coming from the California Design College to talk to us about what we want to do next. And honestly, I wasn't really good at school, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really like looking to go to college, you know.
Were you a C student, A student, F?
Probably like a C average.
A C average? I think that's most of us, the average.
It's passing, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But, you know, I was interested. You know, I knew how to sew. My mom and my grandma, they've been knowing how to sew for so long. And I've known how to sew since the age of 15. I don't think anybody knows that. But that's funny. But, you know, it made me just, you know, I'm like, oh, who wouldn't want to go to LA, you know? So I don't know why my parents let me go, but they believed in me. I really was pushing it. Like they went to go drop me off with my sisters that day, like two of my sisters, I think. And California Design College was located in Koreatown on Wilshire and like Catalina, in between Western Catalina, I want to say. And, you know, I lived there. Actually, I lived in a hotel because my apartment wasn't ready.
Really?
My student housing wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I went there and I didn't even graduate, to be honest with you. But I went there for a little bit and then, you know, we'll get into it later. I fell in love with someone in the military.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I've been heard those are red flags, but I don't know. To each their own, to each their own.
Takes a sip.
LA's where you fell in love with fashion. What was the end goal for you going in there?
Well, I went because I wanted to be a fashion designer. You know, if I would have finished that degree, I would have had my bachelor's in fine arts. But, you know, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I love to create. I love to create with my hands. I witnessed my mom and my grandma do it. And it's something that I still haven't given up on, to be honest. I'm a creator no matter what. I'm an artist. I'm a creator, you know? So I'm not giving up on that. It's just maybe it wasn't in my cards right now. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And I think you went in LA at the best time because I feel like if you go now, there's too much like violence, homeless. Like LA's not what it used to be. Where are you from? Santana.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, OC.
Oh shit.
Oh
shit.
I got you. Oh shit. But I came here. The Valley. I've been here since like the age of 10.
Okay.
So I'm. This is my home.
Yeah, you're from here.
Yeah, because I go back there. I don't know what I'm doing. I just little parts here and there.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. So how was life like in LA for you? Because I feel like that really shaped you into the woman you are today.
Oh my God, yeah. It just made my, you know, it really did. A lot of great things happened for me. A lot of horrible things happened for me. Some things that my family doesn't even know about still. One of the things that happened to me, only maybe two people in this world know. Like, and one of them is my healer, and the other one's like my old best friend. Are
we gonna get the exclusive?
You know, maybe in another show, maybe in another episode if you have me again, because it's a lot, you know. But shit, I wasn't always like a happy person too. Like LA really just killed me for a little bit. And it's so is great as it is, if you don't have like family there or friends like I did, didn't, it's really hard to make it there. And honestly, but I wouldn't change anything about it, because even though I dropped out of college, I became a fucking hustler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even one time, I got, I remember investing like, I don't know, a few $1,000 into like into the waist trainers. So Kim Kardashian started using the waist trainers in like different colors, super cute. Everybody wants that hourglass shape. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went to downtown, got a bunch of them bitches for wholesale, the Colombian waist trainers, and then got them wholesale, and then was selling them for like maybe $75-$80. I would like promote them when I would go out hiking and shit, and then these girls would be like, oh my God. I remember one time, and at the Culver City stairs, these girls were like, where did you get that waist trainer? And I'm like, oh girl, I got them in my car in the trunk, like let's go, and so I mean, I've worked for CEOs. I've also worked for Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics. So working for all of these people and like big business people, it really just, I feel like, taught me more than some schools will teach motherfuckers these days. You know what I mean?
Life lessons.
Life lessons.
Not A plus B equals C and that type of stuff. Or find X.
Right. Yeah.
You did mention about the working with the Lee family. And you said something powerful in there. You said that all these like rich, famous people have all this money, but it doesn't even mean they're happy. What made you become aware of that?
Working for this family specifically. I didn't work for a lot of A-list families. I worked for Stanley because of my ex-boyfriend, Sean. And you might have heard a little bit about Sean's story in my podcast, but Sean was very much into entertainment, and Sean got me that job with Stanley, and like working for that family, you see... I don't even want to say I don't even want to say bad things, out of respect for that family. Like Stanley and Joan, his wife passed, and JC, his only daughter, she's still alive, I believe, but it's just when you're around these people for so long and you see all these people around you, you're like, damn, like they're no different than me and anybody else, because there's fucking leeches and snakes everywhere. And, especially because they have money too. It's just like, damn. And then you see like, damn, you just got to be careful out there. You don't know what people's intentions are,
I think that also makes us believe like we should really think about what we wish for, because I feel a lot of us wish for money.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel a lot of us wish for money, but even if that snap of a finger, the money comes, I don't feel like most people will be any more happier.
No money, no problems.
That's true.
It's true.
That's true, and I think it's genuinely the root, like the real. As I've gotten older, the real problems or happiness in life comes from things that your money can't buy. Relationships, memories, moments,
memories,
all that. And so I really resonated with that, because I used to want like every Jordan pair ever, every Gucci belt ever, but you can only buy so much, and then after a while it gets old real quick. Yeah. So I love that. And also I remember in your podcast too, I heard somewhere that, were you trapping edibles?
I was. I was. Shout out to Sahara, the realtor in Los Angeles. She's born and raised in LA. I was living with her for a little bit, and she knew everybody from LA. I started making my own butter and coconut oils, and we were hustling like 2 for $5 peanut butter cookies, and it wasn't like I was doing it from scratch, so I didn't charge that much, but it was a good deal. I was making like blueberry muffins and shit.
Did somebody teach you how to make them, or you just whipped it out?
I was just trying, what I mean? I fucked up a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just like anything that you want to learn, you just keep trying until you think you kind of get it right, or, just good enough. So it worked. Just little side money.
This love for cannabis you have, is it something, I heard that you, in the podcast previously before, you started smoking at the age of 13?
Yeah, I had my first joint on my 13th birthday. Oh, shit! Yeah, by the way, my birthday's next Saturday, July 15th.
You got plans?
Do I have plans? Plans or plans?
Plans.
I am going to get like a glamping station set up. It's this company, Get Glamped, and they bring a big old fucking thing, and it fits probably like 15 people, but I want to have maybe 10, 12 in there. And just, I want to put some plants in there. I just want to chill and be 35. I'm not trying to get crazy. I just want to get really stoned and eat some good food and be with like my sisters and my family and like a few good friends.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I know exactly what you mean. I'm
Yeah.
over the craziness too.
Yeah.
The whole smoking, drinking, going out. I'm asleep by 10 nowadays.
Oh, we're still smoking. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the love for cannabis. Did you just like love it? You didn't dislike the smell at 13, or was it just something you grew up with, or is it how it makes you feel?
All of it, and especially now, I was addicted to pills when I lived in LA for a little bit, and I smoked weed too, but I was doing like making little pill cocktails with my boyfriend. Like I was doing cocaine for a long time. And honestly, I'm really happy I moved back over here from LA because my life could have gone a whole different direction. And honestly, now I just do shrooms and cannabis.
What brought you back?
Feeling like I'm missing out on like family time.
Family time. How many years in LA were you when you like had this realization?
So I came back 2018. So 2017, I was still having a rough time. Like Sean and I were on and off a little bit. It was a really crazy relationship, and I was just trying to get out of it too, And then I moved to South City, Burlingame area by the SFO. My boss was CEO, and we would do trade shows and shit. So like fine jewelry and like clothing and things. Never really talked about that before. But I came back here in 2018, and I just miss my family.
You were a cannabis brand ambassador?
I was.
How did that come to be?
During COVID, my friend, one of my old friends, he was working with a brand called Shuggies. It was an infused sugar packet. So I started working for them and doing demos at different stores. I even came up with like this lemonade. It was called like what was it called? I don't even know what it was called. But anyways, I'd be like, oh, come be a Shuggy baby or a Shuggy daddy or whatever, just to like market it. And I did really well. And anytime I was doing like a demo at a dispensary, like they would hella sell out or just be close to selling out. I've done it for Doty Oakland, which is Marshawn Lynch's company based out of Oakland. And then State Flower, they're out of San Francisco.
It's easy to imagine everything selling out because you're very much of a people's person. And even through your videos and clips, very likable, very easy to watch type of thing. These skills in marketing and like selling, did it come natural, or how did you like learn all this?
Probably living in LA. I did a lot of trade shows with people. I sold a lot of clothes. I sold fabric to different countries. I sold wholesale and retail to different companies, Ross was one of our clients. They carried our pillows. So we had big accounts, So thankfully, I had all these jobs in Los Angeles that really taught me sales. I was like refinancing houses at one point, you know what I mean? Like doing all of these things.
Man, you're really well-rounded, well-traveled. And I feel like that's
still got to travel more.
Where's a location on your bucket list?
Ooh, I want to go to Greece.
I don't even know where that
I want to go to Hawaii too. I've never been to Hawaii.
You never been to Hawaii? You should go.
I bought a ticket in January and then I canceled it. So I have a credit now, but I'm like, I was trying to go for my birthday, but it just didn't work out.
Next year.
For sure.
How high is your tolerance?
Pretty high.
Pretty high, right? Because that's dabs. That's like a shot in the alcohol world.
For sure.
Because
pretty high tolerance.
I look at joints like a beer, and then dabs like a shot, and then blunts are like a mixed drink.
For sure, I had one of those too before I got in here.
So congratulations in January you became 3 years sober, right?
I did. And then in January, coming up January 2024 will be, I think on the 21st. Will be 4 years. 4 years.
That's amazing. Good for you. Is it sober forever, or is it like a long tolerance break?
I think sober forever.
Sober
it's
forever.
Been almost 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't really feel the need for it.
Yeah.
I don't really like how I used to act when I would drink too.
Talk about that. What was?
I just think that in life in general, I think a lot of people drink and probably even smoke too much sometimes, depending on the person, to try to just I don't know, put shit under the rug, sweep things under the rug. And so for me, alcohol, a lot of the time, it brought out a lot of issues. You know, I was a happy drunk sometimes, but you can ask my sisters, I was very obnoxious. I've done so many embarrassing things, embarrassed myself, embarrassed my family, you know what I mean? And it's because I just was dealing with some shit, or maybe I don't know what I was struggling with, to be honest. But I think it had a lot to do with just the things that I was dealing with internally, or not dealing with, I should say.
I would agree with that. I think because I think we all like substances of any kind. I like alcohol and stuff, but I feel like people that are constantly drowning in them, whether it be whatever, I always feel like they're trying to escape reality.
For sure.
Like I'm never trying to be sober to like not really like face the music and what life really is to them. And I think everybody can have because everything's bad for you. Everything can be bad for you. Because if
you do too much, for sure.
If you do too much of anything, like even if you don't go outside, or you play video games too long, or you just in your room too long, all that stuff is not healthy with you. But the alcohol, you would always go over the top, like 1-2 beers and just cut it, or 1 drink, 2 drinks. It would always go from 0 to 100.
Because I felt like I needed to do that to have fun. Which a lot of people do, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't say it, you know what I mean? I feel comfortable saying it because I'm just in a better place in my life, and I can talk about it now instead of just feeling some type of way. I don't know.
How did your soberness journey start? Like, was it like you crossed the line somehow, or was it like a moment that you're like, fuck this?
I quit.
January 20th?
Yeah, I think I quit right before COVID, or the year after, maybe 2021. I quit too because I became a bonus mom. So my ex and his babies came into my life.
A stepmom?
Yeah, a stepmom, but I mean, we weren't married, but I call it bonus mom because, and I feel weird, and I honestly still feel weird saying that out loud, because I got so much shit from his baby mama, and they just hated me. And even they would have people reach out to me like, you're not a fucking mom, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, bitch, like, sure. But I'm a provider. I was a provider. And honestly, that really, being a bonus parent really changed my life, because I'm like, oh, it's not even about me anymore. Like, I accepted this man into my life, and now he has children. And so, I mean, I took that relationship so seriously. It was the first relationship I never cheated in. You know what I mean? Because I thought that was it. I thought that was it for me. And I'll be quite honest, like, but you know, it just, it really changed my life, and becoming a nurturer, becoming a provider, and seeing like the way this little girl, would love flowers. You know, I always had flowers at home, and even on the coffee table, I remember one time she would be like, you know, and she would just like play with them. And, you know, it taught me that, kids watch everything, and
they're aware.
Yeah.
They're aware.
They're the future, and they grow up to be just like you, you know? So, I wanted to be a good example.
Where did you meet this one?
This one. So
what was the name, by the way?
We're gonna call him Joe.
Joe. Okay, awesome.
We're gonna call him Joe.
Joe.
We used to work together. So when I moved back from the San Francisco Bay Area, in 2018, I started working at an almond plant. I mean, it's Modesto. There's not a lot of glamorous jobs there. So I had to work at a fucking almond plant at a warehouse.
Modesto's a big farm town.
Yes.
Agriculture.
And yes. And he worked there, and he was like working in the shipping and receiving department, you know, and he was hot. And I didn't know much about him, but like we got to know each other, whatever. One thing led to another, and we just like hit it off. And, you know, I never judged him for having kids. And so, yeah, we met at the warehouse.
Yes.
At the almond plant.
Yeah. And you thought you met your Prince Charming, and that's when, and then that's when you.
Exactly.
How long that relationship last? As the bonus mom?
Like a few years.
I'm very curious. Do women really hate like that, or was it just like this one time because you were the bonus mom?
Do they hate on women that are trying to come into their daughter's life and be like a mother figure?
Yes.
Immature ass women do. You know, they hate because, listen, I spent so much money. I worked so hard for that kid. You know, I even let this bitch know, I'm like, hey, if you need money, you let me know. Because, you know, my dude fucking paying for 3 kids as twins on the East Coast, and it's just like, I was there to help my man, you know what I mean? And like, if this lady was struggling, like, why would I want her to struggle? The kid lives with her most of the time. You know what I mean? That's how I thought. But they don't think like that. They just think that you're there to take their place. And I just wish that, and I hope that a lot of women in these situations don't make it difficult for their ex to move on or their new partner. Because, like I said, the kids see everything. And it's just like, it can be a really uncomfortable situation for the kids to be around when people aren't getting along. They always try to paint us out to be the bad guy when we're like, hey, like for me, I think I was pretty respectful. I never forced that kid to call me mom. I don't think you should, and that's what I was being accused. Like, oh, you're forcing my daughter to flirt. How the fuck would you know what happens in our home? First of all, like, I ain't forcing shit. And you should be proud that she's calling me mom, because now, like, I'm loving her like you do. I'm trying, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I love that. You have a big heart with kids. Were you always good with children, or was the nonprofit Project Wonder you worked in help out with that?
I think I've always been good with children, because honestly, like, I've said this before publicly, like, I don't think that I've had like the most happy childhood, you know what I mean? And so inside of us, like, there's always that kid, you know what I mean? That you weren't able to do the things you wanted to do, or like maybe you didn't grow up this way or so happy. So you're like, you just want to make sure that these kids grow up not like you.
Yes. Yes. Now with
maybe like not like have that childhood that you have, that
the
was
trauma.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And I want to take it back to where you said this was the first relationship you didn't cheat on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and you've talked about this openly on your previous podcast. You even had an whole episode on do all people cheat. What made you not cheat on this guy, but previously
other
do
people?
It?
My other boyfriends, they cheated on me first, and so I cheated back. But honestly, I've tried to leave those relationships after the cheating happened. But these men at the time, and I wasn't a lot younger, easier to control. You know what I mean? I didn't really. I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna stay with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, we're just gonna cheat back and forth. And this guy, I wanted to really be with him, and I'm like, I need to grow out of this stupid player shit.
Yes. and this one,
I don't want to be a player no more.
and this one didn't cheat then? Did you guys break
He
up?
cheated on me. We even went to counseling. So when the first time he cheated on me, it was with somebody he worked with.
Another coworker. Kind of how
I quit working with them, and then he fucking was fucking with some other bitch, and I was like, what the fuck?
Hopefully it wasn't brown, because I've said openly on this podcast, brown men don't cheat.
No, he's a white dude. I've only dated white dudes, dude. I don't know. My healer, she's like, why do you only, and she's white, my healer, and she goes, why do you only date white guys? Yesi, you need to like date, some brown, or like, whatever, someone like, like, give it a shot. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I need to, but yeah, I didn't cheat on him. That's the first guy I didn't cheat on.
Oh, okay. No, but in your opinion, what causes people to cheat?
When you don't do things together, I think that when you don't spend make that time together, like, you're always too busy, or you come home and like, oh, I'm tired, and like, you don't even want to have sex or whatever. Like, take your girl out on a date, even if it's a date night at home. Like, it's the thought that counts, and then people, they just get too comfortable, and they're like, oh, you're my girl, you're my dude. Like, I don't even got to get ready no more. And, you got to keep it sexy. Go buy that lingerie. Go buy your girl some fucking lingerie. Take her out. You know what I mean? Like, role play. I don't know. Google it.
Spice things up. Keep the interest up there. And that is true, because I feel like in the beginning is where it's all cute, the honeymoon, everything's new, but then people get comfortable. Because I think as a man, I think what we love is sometimes the chase. Like I might get her on this day, or we're going to go out here, we'll see what happens.
Sure.
Blah, blah. But when it's like secured in the bag, I feel like that drive dies in us. And so like that's when like the girl stops like feeling special. Because at the end of the day, I feel like we try to make the women we're after feel special. That's why we do all these extra things. And I think men, we shouldn't try to stop making our women feel special, because if we don't do it, some other guy will.
For sure.
Or
Same for the girls. You know what I mean? It just goes both ways. Like, you really need to reciprocate that energy that you want. You really need to be respectful of one another. Don't tell each other to shut the fuck up if you get mad at one another, you know? Like, one thing I am really thankful for, even though Joe cheated on me, you know, that created, like, we ended up going to couples therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really recommend, like, even if there's not really any problems or there's like baby problems, get a counselor. You know, Dr. Ken really helped both of us. Me probably a lot more than him.
Yes.
Motherfucker lied at therapy. But anyway, it helped me realize some things and realize that, like, I could be wrong in my approach of, like, trying to communicate with my partner, you know, not communicating in the right way. And, like, I even asked one of my friends, he's a lawyer in Modesto. And I'm like, what's the main reason that people separate? He's a divorce attorney, you know? And he said because people lose interest in each other.
The spark dies.
There's no spark.
So you're saying that even though the relationship is fine to go to couples therapy?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. You know, if anything, it's going to just help you. I don't know. It's just going to help you a lot more. I mean, if maybe things are going good, not everybody needs it. You know, maybe some people are just, they grew up in a nice home and, like, where people communicate. But I think the majority of the people could benefit off a therapist.
It won't do no harm, basically. It'll do more good than bad. I don't
Even
think,
for yourself, you know, even for if it's just you.
have you had like independent therapy? And what have you learned through that?
That I got a lot of motherfucking problems and I wasn't dealing with them in the right way. Some accountability, you know, so many things. You know, it's even helped me with business, you know, being, like, emotionally intelligent matters, not just in your personal, but in your business.
Yes.
So, honestly, I feel like a lot of, especially business owners, like, one time I shared, like, look, if your business isn't doing good, maybe it's you, you know, because sometimes when we're not doing good, that trickles down into a lot of other relationships or your business or whatever, you know, and then, like, you're like, why isn't this shit working? Maybe you got a negative attitude. Maybe your outlook or, you know, how you see things is just not going. Like, some people are just not open into thinking that they could be wrong, you know, and then that's just kind of what makes people fail sometimes too.
The ignorance. No, that's true. And I'm a big believer is how you do anything is how you do everything. I love the confidence and vulnerability. And that's something you see all over your podcast.
Thank
At
you.
Yesi.com. Did you delete an episode or two?
I did.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I was like, well, how's it? The
I
order.
was talking about it on my live actually a little bit ago. I'm like, today on the way here, I deleted 2 episodes because 2 of those women, I just don't fuck with them. We'll keep it short.
Okay.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Because only reason because the order was a little bit off, but the one thing your podcast screams is genuineness and like raw, like real talk. Like, and are they one takes, by the way?
Yeah, I don't edit anything. It's on my phone.
That's amazing. That's from somebody that creates content. Like, good for you. Like,
Thank you.
and the whole thing that you carry the whole show by, except for the latest one with the Freaky Tales one.
Freaky Tales?
Yeah, it's just you and the mic. So that's amazing. That's awesome. This confidence, this vulnerability, there's a lot of power in that. Do you think everybody can grab some power if they were this vulnerable as you and like this open?
Yeah. And they would be able to receive a lot of love because when you are able to show who you really are and you're able to just show that you're human, people relate to that and people feel more connected with you. And then that's how you can build also a little bit of trust. You know, you can't just be promoting, it's a perfect fucking life on social media, which everyone does.
Yes.
I've been that way too. And I've tried to change even who I am and conform to what I thought society wanted me to be, you know, and it's just like, no wonder I wasn't happy. No wonder I wasn't as successful. In success, I don't even talk about money. I'm like talking about happiness, you know, like, yeah. So it's just, you know, when you can be vulnerable, when you can be yourself, that's when shit really starts to pop off. And then, you know, I like to share this little quote. It's, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Your vibe attracts your tribe. I love that. That's a good one. Where's that one from?
So I don't know if you know Revolution, the band, reggae band. So there's this reggae band called Revolution, but it's kind of a little story, but I'm gonna tell it quick. Revolution. So during COVID, I was starting to do events, and then I was trying to see like what it cost to get this fucking band out, to Modesto. And I got in contact with someone on there. Anyway, I was messaging the drummer and like the bass guitarist, and I remember like reposting a lot of their stuff and memories to try to get their attention.
Yes.
One of the guys, Marley, he reposted me. And one of my friends, Jen from Sacramento, she saw him post me and she goes, "That's my girl," to Marley. And then he goes, and she goes, "We actually met at your Revolution concert at this year or whatever." He goes, "Your vibe attracts your tribe."
Damn, that's a dope story. Did you end up getting them?
No, they're expensive as fuck. But I go see them every year in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I saw them last year in Berkeley. I'm going to see them in Stanford this year in August.
Reggae. I love how open-minded you are with everything, whether it's your food, your content. You speak Spanish really fluently.
Thank you. Yeah, both my parents speak Spanish.
Do you use it a lot, or is it at home or in the street, or
with my parents and with my friends sometimes, especially a couple of friends.
Because I only saw one video of you like introducing yourself, saying, "Hey, I speak
Spanish, hablo español" on my Valley pop-up page. Yeah, because. I should probably do more. I think I should probably do more content in Spanish. One thing I've talked about for a couple of years already is that I want to do a cannabis event targeted for the Hispanic community because that would help not only them, which a lot of them already believe in, like herbs and natural healing. And I just want to educate the community and show them, hey, it's just, you don't have to just smoke it. There's some good capsules,
cremas,
topicals, things like that, drinks even. But anyway, I probably need to make more like content in Spanish.
In today's society or the outlook in the world today, do you think cannabis is represented properly now compared to where it was like 10 years ago?
No, I don't think so.
Le falta?
Le falta for sure. I feel like I would love to see more of diversity. I see a lot of people getting loaded, the younger like people.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see all ages, like grandmas. My friend's grandma uses edibles, and I would love to see us talk about more of how it's medicine versus like, I'm just going to get fucking lit, which is fine. I love to get fucking loaded sometimes, but let's talk about it like medicine a little bit more, The
education.
Yeah.
That's true because if you drink when you go to the parties, like the quinceañeras, for example, you bring a 24-pack, nobody bats an eye, you can drink that and pass out. You smoke a joint on the parking lot.
¿Qué chingados esto? Pinche sacatito.
No, practically my mom will be like...
Yeah.
No, it's just got a bad stigma with it. But I think slowly but surely, especially with our generation, it's in our music a lot more. Mm-hmm. Like in the early 2000s, it was like Coke. That was like the drug. Now it's getting weed, but it's a lot more like tumbado vibes, like chill vibes. It's not more like doing crazy shit or kicking up a storm.
I know. Even my dad's getting more open to it. My parents, they're hella old school. They're from Michoacan, Mexico. Like
shout out to Michoacan.
Hey! And they used to fucking hate it. They used to give us so much shit and like we had to hide that shit, but now we do it openly. I even took a dab on Mother's Day in front of all my family, tios and tias and shit,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
in
so times have changed. Yeah.
Yesi.com podcast. I saw your trailer was posted on June 20th, 2022. Mm-hmm. Was that an idea that was always brewing, or was that just something spontaneous and you just ran with it?
People have been wanting me to do a podcast, but I'm like, oh, shit's gonna take a lot of time, and that's why I do it on my phone, because I'm like, I'm always fucking busy and I don't have time. I love this. I would love to have this one day, you know what I mean? But right now, because I'm like doing a lot of other things,
you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, it's hard for me to do it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna spend money on, like, I bought a nice microphone. I've never used it, not once. So I'm not gonna invest in all this like really nice equipment. Although one day I would love to,
Yes.
and then make more time for it. But right now, I do it on my phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love it because it's raw and authentic. Mm-hmm. It's
Thank
not
you.
like that scripted or.
That's why on the bio, I think it says like a place to feel good and talk shit or something. I don't know.
100%. It's all you. on that podcast, also, you talk about yourself when you answered a lot of questions that the public had for you. That was really good to know. I recommend you guys check that out if you guys want to get to know Yesi a little bit more. You talk about the cheating, you talk about LA, you even talk about your sexual preferences.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you.
People love that shit.
How's the dating world for you? Are you actually, I'm gonna answer.
Shit.
I'm gonna answer.
I mean, I told him nothing is off limits. Okay.
Yeah, so how's dating for you now? That you're about to turn 35. Are you in a serious relationship, or are you looking, or
I am looking. Not in a serious relationship. Not in a serious relationship.
Boom! I answered 5 of your guys' questions.
I heard people was asking about me, but no, I am into someone right now. I'm like have a little crush on someone.
Does he know you have a crush on him?
For sure.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I have to give it a shot. You know what I mean? I have to give it a fucking shot to see if this shit works. But he lives in Southern California, and it's just kind of hard. He's hella busy. I'm hella busy. So, we'll see where things go.
Based on your relationship with the Marine, have you always been like okay with the long distance relationship?
Well, when I was with the Marine, with my first relationship,
the deployments were like, is that something you can work with?
I did. I didn't. It was tough. You know what I mean?
Would you do it all over again?
No. Oh. Fuck no.
So if you and the SoCal guy got serious, you guys would have to be in the same city at least?
We would definitely need to be seeing each other like 4 days out of the 7 days at least. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm trying to keep it real. I'm keeping it really real. Like I love the intimacy. You know what I mean? I want to be able to like fuck, make love. I want to go out to eat with you. I want to go out on a date. I want to go to the movies. Like, when my ex, the Marine, was gone all the time, I was doing shit all by myself. Going out to eat to restaurants by myself. Like, this shit gets old.
Yeah.
I'm bored doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I want a partner.
Yes.
So,
what do you look for in a man?
I want him to have a good relationship with his family. I want him to be kind and compassionate and just be able to communicate.
Yes.
It's not that big of a deal. Even if like somebody like fucked me over, just tell me. Or even if you don't want to be with me, just tell me.
Hold up. What do you mean like somebody fucked you over? They wouldn't mean to tell you.
Oh, even if like, I don't know, or did I say that?
Like, did you dirty?
I wouldn't say like cheating. I wouldn't, tolerate that. But like, I don't know, like if they just did something stupid, I don't know. I was just talking out of my ass. Yeah. But even if they just like hurt my feelings or something, like I can be very forgiving. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. But I mean, even if like they didn't want to be with me and they were interested in someone else, that would really hurt my feelings. But like, I would prefer you to be honest with me. So then you don't have to be miserable, and then I don't have to be over here thinking that my dude loves me. You know what I mean? Like, people should be okay with just like people not liking them.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I think that's what stops a lot of us from jumping and progressing in life. Is we're so insecure and we care so much about what other people think.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even your own family, your partner, or your friends. Sometimes it's like random people on the internet.
Yeah.
I was a bit intimidated when I went publicly with this podcast, but look at who I have in front of me today, and it wouldn't have been happened without taking that jump.
I'm excited to be here.
So as far as ladies now, like, what do you think ladies should do to attract the man you just described?
What you attract is what you are. You know what I mean? If you're going to be a little biatch, and you're going to be a negative attitude and you're going to be a player, you're going to attract that shit, and it's only going to last a little bit. You might as well just be fuck buddies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want, and that's okay.
Do you think that's good for people to get out of their system? Go through that player phase?
Some people do, some people don't. I don't think it's a phase for everyone,
No.
But I mean,
that's the only thing I've seen with like.
Maybe some people wish they could have,
That is true. Now, I reference it more to couples that I know that got together or had babies like 18, 19. They're always left with that. I wonder what it's like to not even have sex, but just like go out, explore, go out, stay out as late as I want, like having no compromisos.
For sure.
And I think it's really good for people to explore and like enjoy life, because Because it's never, I don't think it's ever too late for nobody.
No, for sure.
Like,
Definitely not.
Because I don't know why, especially in the Hispanic community, we have like this time clock. Like by 25, you need to have your whole life together, house, kids. And I'm like, man, I know y'all ain't getting that with me.
Nope. No. Times have changed, man, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that people, so one of my clients, Diane Flores, she's a gym owner. Shout out to Venus Fitness Studio in Modesto. She's also has a podcast, Boss Bitch Radio, and she's very open on her Instagram about her sexuality, which I think is pretty inspiring. You know, she just turned 45. She's a boss ass bitch, and she's like goes to these lifestyle parties where sometimes like maybe people, I don't know. I'm just, you know, maybe people fuck in some rooms. Maybe they like to play with each other. One she went to in Vegas, it was more of just one big open room, some pool. So she was like having fun on the pool. I saw, and just people just getting to know each other and networking and like, oh, like you're into the same kind of shit that I am, you know, sexually.
Yes.
And I think too, like open relationships are not for me, but I think that more people may like that though, because, you know, like so many people cheat on each other. I was just talking about it with my friend. So many people cheat on each other. Like you might as well have an open relationship and an agreement. Be like, you know what? We have to agree when we want to play with people. And like, maybe that's going to spice things up. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if your man, I don't know, you know, if he wants to like, I don't think women need to be so insecure. You know what I mean?
You don't think women need to be so insecure?
Yeah, because sometimes maybe they're just not confident in their body and they're just like not wanting to have sex, and maybe that's why people cheat. You know, but it's like, hey, like if you're in a little throuple or an open relationship, then your man can get to play, and maybe you get to play with somebody else too. I don't know.
Damn.
Just saying. You know what I mean? I see people living that life, and I think it's pretty normal, but it's just not for me.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
You guys do whatever the hell you guys want.
You guys could tag team a fucking blowjob. You're like, bitch, I'm tired of sucking his dick. Come through.
Y'all do whatever you want, but like she said, that's not for me.
It's just, you know, I don't judge.
What are some red flags to you for a guy? I can't believe you let this one slide.
What?
And you read it up in a podcast, and I was like, damn.
What?
Like any other guy would have been to a girl, I think a fight would have broke out. When you were like at an event and your man at the time introduced you as a friend.
Oh, that was Valentine's Day, I think.
That's
Wow.
an L on you.
Yo, he introduced me as his friend.
How long were you guys dating at the time? Maybe you guys were friends.
No, we was living together, honey.
Okay.
We was living together.
How long were you guys together though? At the time, if you can recall.
At least 2 years.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, mom was with us too. Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. If it was 2 weeks, I would have been. I'll get him a pass.
Drama. There was drama after that dinner. You know what I mean? There was drama.
So, what are some red flags ladies should look out for in men, in your opinion?
If they talk shit about their family.
But what if their family is shit? Exceptions to the rules. I'm just playing devil's advocate at that point.
Well, then fuck. I don't know. Then I can't blame them. Then you know what I mean. If they're family shit, then they're family shit. A red flag. Making a lot of excuses, maybe.
No accountability.
No accountability.
Guys that have tried talking to you, was like something they do that turns you off?
When they interrupt me and they just like talk too much, and then they don't like they're not good listeners. Because I've been that type of person too, and I just me. Even my sisters will tell you, yes, he's a horrible fucking listener. I used to be, you know.
Damn. So if you take Yesi out on a date, shut up and listen.
You know, it's just, you know, if you don't, I think being a good listener is really important. And so I think it's like you can tell if someone's kind of self-centered, you know, and talks about themselves a lot. That's kind of annoying too.
Yes. And I think it's funny because you're also the owner of Flower Baby Designs.
Yes, I got a tattoo. Right here.
Was that your first tattoo?
This was my first tattoo, my flower. And then I got the Flower Baby and then the Michelangelo with the joint.
That's a big deal. When you have a what was your brand name basically, right? How did that come to be?
Flower Baby Designs?
Yes.
Well, when I was in school, in college, 2006, 2007, I was the librarian at my school, making, I don't know, like $6 something an hour, maybe $7. I needed to make more money. My parents were supporting me. And then I found a job at It was called Rita Flora at the time. It's now called Brea Bakery in the Mid Wilshire area.
Okay.
And yeah, so I started as a cashier there, and then I kind of worked for a couple other shops. Then when I came over here to Modesto, you know that almond plant that I was telling you about? They weren't treating me right. So, I mean, I put in my 2 weeks like I was supposed to, but then I sued them and I won. Then with that money, I took some money and I created my business during right before COVID.
Oh, right before COVID. So was that a good time for you or a bad time for you? Because since everything was shut down, or did it just give you enough time to like perfect your craft? Because you have some beautiful flowers.
Thank you.
Beautiful flowers, and I kind of see the growth. Because the designs get crazier, the things get nicer, and you do all kinds of events. How did you get your first client? How did you get started in that?
Pop-ups. Pop-ups.
The Valley pop-up?
No.
Oh,
This was before Valley Pop-up.
Oh, so this was just used your own business.
Hustling. You know what I mean? I wasn't working at the time, of course. Nobody was. And I'm like, fuck, like I just created, just like everybody, you know, they created this business or they created their business during COVID, but I created mine like February, right before Valentine's Day. I invested some money and I like tripled my money that day. The flower industry is a good business. Yeah, it's a good business. Where was I at? Shit.
And the flower business is a good business because you went to an event and you tripled your money?
How did I start, or how did it go for me? That's right. So I wanted to become a potter. I saw pop-ups were happening. People were doing pop-ups before me, but they were doing them in the hood and shit, you know, like just doing what they can to make some money. And I'm like, oh shit, like I want to do that too. I want to go put my business out there. But people were not so accepting of new people, new businesses to join their maybe clique, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's when I decided to do Valley Pop-Up. But I started my first event at a wellness studio, Pilates. What is it? Studio V Pilates. Victoria Popoff. Her company invited me to be a vendor. And I brought cookies for everyone. I brought some flowers, you know. It was just promoting my shit, you know, giving away free things. Like I wasn't charging what I was supposed to be charging at the time because I knew what I was worth. But because I'm new here, I had to charge less and gain people's trust. So yeah, and then I just got better and better. I started discovering my own style still a little bit more because I haven't done it in a minute, you know, but like altogether in the flower industry, I've been in it for like a decade.
10 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Good for you because the flower business, like you said, is a good business and it's something that's never going to go away. And also it's one of those products that people will have to keep buying again. And I got something really smart that you did. I don't think maybe the big brands have done it, but the whole subscription thing. I think that thing is amazing because we're headed towards that.
Yeah.
We're headed towards a subscription world where we basically rent everything.
Yeah.
Because most of the things that get pulled from my account are just subscriptions. Car washes, entertainment, internet. Like, it's kind of crazy, but we don't own that much.
No.
We're just like renting it.
Yeah.
I love how you said you brought cookies, you put in the work, because it's really hard starting off a business or starting off anything. You're an artist, you're a podcaster, you're making music, whatever it is. It's really hard to get recognition. What are some things like small business owners can do when starting off to get like maybe their first couple clients, or maybe just get the word out there to their community that they're in business?
Go to networking events too. I mean, I used to be so scared. I remember going to a networking event and then I went for like 15, 20 minutes and I left. And I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done, you know, because it's scary. But you're not going to be successful unless you like really put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Like, I would also like, I wish I knew about my speaking coach before I started my business, because I think it's important. Like one thing that my business speaking coach, public speaking coach taught me was just like, how do you introduce yourself when you're in a room? How do you introduce yourself when you're going into a room, you know? And I'm like, fuck, I don't even know. Like I kind of just scramble and I'm like, oh, I do all kinds of things, you know, and it sounds kind of unprofessional. But I would really recommend, if you're a small business owner, to invest in a speaking coach. Jessica Ching, she's my speaking coach. And, you know, she's really helped me a lot. I want to say that she's a big part of the reason why I got the gig with Good Day Sacramento.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was investing in myself and wanting to be better.
As we all should. That's one of the few things people can take away from you is your education, your knowledge, how you present yourself, your physique, all these things that, you're in control of can really benefit you in the long run. I love that. And so doing those events and building up your clients, what's your favorite event that you've done or like been able to be a part of with your good flowers? Do you just drop them off or do you set them up and everything?
My flowers? Oh, with my flowers? So I've done a lot of weddings. And I mean, typically I like the people who have a bigger budget, you know, because I can be more creative and I love it. I enjoy what I do, you know, and there's not really one that I really have enjoyed more than the other because meeting these people and their visions are all different for their private events. And I really appreciate and value when people allow me to just be creative instead of showing me a Pinterest picture and be like, that's exactly what that I want. You know?
But why be like everybody else when you can be your own thing? I love that. I love that. Can you talk a little bit more about the Valley pop-up? So you went from attending these events, networking, showing up to having your own, right?
Having my own. My first one was on January 17th, 2021. And I'll never forget that day. I remember I had maybe like 10 or 12 people join. And I think I was charging like $35 a person.
Vendors, right?
Vendors.
Yeah.
They get their 10 by 10 space. It was right off of McHenry. At the Seasons on McHenry. It's now something else. But yeah, we did it there. I was doing it every weekend, which like was really hard because I was just hustling, you know, but I had to pay for that shit I was paying for a parking lot every weekend. I think it was like $400. And then I would have to rent bathrooms. And then when I got better and I was like more poppin', my events were more poppin', and they really loved my service and like the way I was running shit. I began to get more bookings. And then when I got more bookings, I was able to bring DJs and entertainment for the kids, you know. One time we had an Easter egg hunt and it was a free thing. Nobody had to register, but, there's a video of all the kids just like fucking like over 20 kids running into the fucking thing. And the vendors helped me, you know, hide the eggs. Some of them had money in it, you know?
That's dope.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't a lot, but it was something. So bring some excitement to the community because, listen, not a lot of people have money, you know, even now, not a lot of people have money. And like for me growing up, my parents couldn't take me to Disneyland, you know what I mean? Or take me to water parks all the time. So it's like my goal was to try to create some fun shit for people to enjoy locally, you know, and free of charge.
That Modesto doesn't have many of that?
At the time, not that I saw, you know what I mean? To be honest, no. I don't really think a lot of people were doing it how I was doing it. People had pop-ups and shit, but people really didn't have DJs before. I didn't really see people having DJs. And then when I started having DJs, like doing more experiences, you know, I feel like I may have inspired some people to do it, like, you know, and I was happy about that because I'm like, good, because we got to like spice things up a little bit and keep it. My goal is like, I want people to spend money here. There's a lot of cool businesses here. Like if I could invest a little bit in creating something fun here, that's going to be good for everyone. You know what I mean? The more people we get to come, the more money there is to make.
They seem very family oriented.
Me?
The events.
Oh,
like you know, you could bring the whole family.
For sure.
It's not just like adults or kids or it's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Which I love to hear that. Organizing events sound tough. Getting people in, contacting vendors, even like just marketing. Yeah. Did you have help or was this all you?
It was all me.
Wow. God, that's dope. When I'm just curious on what's more important, the location of where it's going to be held at, or like, or does it matter more the vendors? Like, what's really important there? When like
the location.
It has to be a place everybody knows, people are comfortable. What were you looking for when you decided what parking lot to use? Or
high traffic area. My goal is like, all right, well, if there's X amount of cars driving down this fucking street every day, then they're bound to stop. People love to shop. People love to spend money, you know? And so, high traffic area. So McHenry being like one of the busiest roads, it was off of McHenry. And so that's what I thought, you know, and like, yeah, I mean, if you can bring in some names or some well-known names, of course it's going to help. But I think more the location, because then that determines what kind of clientele is going to come shop with you.
I see. Yeah. You know what I like to compare it to is the flea market. And I don't know if you know if Lodi has a farmer's market going on right now. So they have a farmer's market. And all it is fruits and vegetables and little like kind of Etsy, like handmade crafts and stuff. And this is just like what I see is at the flea market, like right here in Wilson Way in Stockton, they sell the same cherries, the same peaches, oranges, apples for like $2-3 a pound. And when I go down to the farmer's market, that same fruit, triple the price, 9, 10. And I think and all it is a different setting and just a different clientele.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, like, because I saw the one post you posted about the water.
Which water?
That water at the store is $2. At an event is like $5. And at a concert is 10. And it's all about the room you are kind of dictates your value. And so when this fruit is at a farmer's market, people value it really high because people are like, oh my God, organic.
Yeah.
When you go to the flea market, you're trying to still haggle with them. Yeah. The raza, you know?
Yeah. And it's also like, I love the remate. I love the flea market. You know, I grew up going to the fucking flea market. I love that shit, especially on a Sunday, you know? But it's like, yeah, sometimes people don't want to be around those type of people. I don't know what those type of people are. You know what I mean? It's just like maybe more the Hispanic community, you know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't know if people think like people at the flea market are like cheaper, which I guess they are, you know? Yeah. But that's why, I mean, they get to have their events however they want and charge whatever else they want, you know?
What's one, if you can name one or a couple of errors you see small businesses make that would hurt them? Maybe they had the best intentions for their business, but like you saw, like, it was bad.
Sitting down at your booth. I mean, unless you're disabled and you cannot stand up, I think you shouldn't be sitting down. Even if there's no traffic, I think, yeah, take your little break, you know, but like for the most part, if there's a lot of traffic, you need to be standing up in front of your tent, you know, because I'm used to doing sales and trade shows and like my boss used to spend thousands of dollars, and like whether you're spending thousands of dollars on a fucking 10 by 10 or $50 on a 10 by 10, you need to be out there like if it was an $8,000 booth, you know what I mean? And so like, and my thing is like, even when I was doing demos, when people were waiting in line at like one of the shops on McHenry, I would talk to everybody. There's a fucking line and there's an opportunity there while these people are waiting to give me their attention. They ain't doing shit. So it's like, I would go up to talk to them like, oh, would you like some stickers? Everybody loves stickers. Here's some little hands out. Da, 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 da. Oh, this is what the brand is all about. Like, oh, this shit's hella fire. Or like, what kind of flower do you like to smoke? Like, talk to them. And even if it doesn't turn into a sale, we made that connection. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that people need to, you know, like quit sitting down so fucking much.
The energy too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, people are trying to spend, but they see somebody sitting down, just like taking money. It's too transactional. People go for an experience. Yeah. I notice people spend the most money when they have like the best experiences or the best connection with that person. For sure. That's a great ass tip. Like you could obviously tell I don't have a business, so I'm feeling like mind blown. That's a really good one. You got any other ones like something like that? That's any a really
tips, or what do you mean? What was the question?
Things
that I see that people do
that kind of hurt them.
Yeah.
Or things they could do better.
Also just like being engaged with your audience. That people, even if it's like you have 58 followers or you have 1,000, 5,000 followers, you know, like people want to connect with you, especially if you're a business owner. Ask the people what they want. People love to talk about themselves. And you know what I mean? If you put a poll out there, like I love doing polls, and hundreds of people respond to my shit. And even if it was 20 people responding to your shit, that is you connecting with those people and engaging and giving them something to do.
That's some good game right there. That's some good game, because I barely have 800. But the simple fact that every time I put in a poll up, I get 100 responses.
You're engaged.
That to me, I'm like, wow, like people actually take time to read and pick an answer. So that's some game right there, guys. On social media, polls are like really good, because I do them too. And I always try to make them about the community or about what's going on. Because also you can only ask so many questions. Nobody really cares about you. It's really about, give me some value or give me something controversial almost.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes it's not all about business that I post. It's about like real life shit or like sex or whatever. And like don't forget that people are real people. They're not just your client or a number. They're real human beings. They all
poop every morning, man. We're not that different, man.
Not me. I'm just kidding. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop putting these people on a pedestal, man. I love that you go live a lot, and kind of more transitioning over to social media. How just engaging and getting your name out there, was that how you were able to build your following and your brand overall? Because you have 3 pages with really nice followings, and most people can't even get one. So was it all the engaging and just being active? Because I do love your life. And something I see her do is she says what's up to every person that taps in.
What's pumping?
And that's nice because it makes you feel special. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, damn.
Yeah, it's nice when people do that to me. You know, I try to put out what I want in the world. And that's why I feel so much love.
Wow.
I honestly feel like I've fucking cried about it sometimes. And I'd be on shrooms. I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm really thankful for my life, you know? And it's because I'm just not the same person I used to be.
You've evolved, but we all evolve
For sure.
I think that's human nature, and if you don't evolve, that's bad. That's I think you should challenge yourself. You should constantly educate yourself, and you should constantly take risks in life.
For sure.
Because there's nothing nice about not settling down, but like just being comfortable. I feel like you should always, and it's not always about the money. It's sometimes about your physique, something about your education. Sometimes down the road, even with like your family, your kids, your parents, whatever it may be. Yeah. I love that. Talking about kids and stuff, and since you're good with them, do you plan on having some in the future?
I would love to, but I got to get a man's first. I got to get a man's first. Wait, check 1, 2. I got to get a man's first.
Damn.
I do want kids, you know. I talk about it. Actually, I talk about it with my mom a lot. And recently, you know, I was talking about it with my mom maybe a few days ago. And, you know, she's like, oh, your time's going to come. Yesi, like, you know, just maybe now that you're going to have like this news reporting job, you'll have more like structure and like stability, and you're not going to be here and here and here so much, you know, because one of my problems is that I wasn't making time for these men, you know, and I'm like, these men are hella wanting to be with me, and it's kind of fucked up because I'm like, I'm over here complaining like, oh, I want to date and shit, but I'm not making the time for them. You know, and that's not fair to me either.
Yes.
You know, that's like, I want to be loved. And so, and even lately I've been like slowing it down and taking a little bit of a break before I start with the news too, because I'm like, I need a fucking break. I'm tired, you know?
And it's good to take those breaks in life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things can be overwhelming. Even just, most people, like you do a lot. I know you do a lot. Most people don't give themselves enough credit. Is what I'm trying to say. Because this whole content creating, even what you put out, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I can just tell if somebody's that active online, I know they're constantly hustling.
Oh, yeah.
Because most businesses, one thing I can point out that they fail is like they post once a month.
Yeah.
And in the social media world, that's bad. Like you're dead to most people.
At one point I was like doing once a week on Yesi.com, and I wasn't investing a lot on that page and more on my business page, which was fine. But I'm like, fuck, I'm not getting a lot of engagement over here, you know? But yeah, you need to put in some effort right there.
What was the name of your speaking coach?
Jessica Chang Consulting, but Jessica Chang is her name.
Look at him, Modesta too.
Turlock.
Oh.
She is an Emmy award-winning reporter and journalist.
Wow.
She was on the news too in San Diego, in a couple of different states, I think. Yeah.
Is she retired now and just like a speaking coach? Oh, okay. That's awesome.
And she also does events now too. Like I went to the Savvy Speaking Social. It was an all-women's event, beautiful. A lot of women entrepreneurs, you know, and just we did some fun exercises and networking. And she was really always encouraging people to like get to know each other and ask each other questions, you know?
What's something you've seen women struggle with in the business world? I noticed you push a lot of boss babes. What do you think is their biggest challenge in overcoming in the entrepreneurial world?
Geez. Probably this can relate to a lot of people, not just women, but like women can just be hard on each other. You know, women can be hard on other women. That's a thing, you know, and then just in general, like people not feeling like supported, you know what I mean? Or like, but yeah, especially women not feeling supported, but especially in the cannabis industry, you know? I see a lot of that there, and I would like to see that change. I don't know.
You push a lot of women-owned businesses. I think that's no. You push men too, but mainly you push a lot of women-owned business.
Like honestly, we're the only ones that can make a difference in each other's lives. Is people got to be about people.
Yes.
You know, you really have to want to connect with people and help each other because even the government don't care about us too. You know what I mean? Like we, especially like brown skinned women, need to really like be there for one another.
The minorities.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. And going back to your coach, you said she's the reason you were able to close the job with the Good Day Sacramento.
I feel like she took. I give her credit too because I've been interviewed quite a few times on Good Day Sacramento, even for my flowers, like before, maybe a couple of years ago, even for my Valley pop-up, my Boss Babe pop-up. So that's my first interview with them.
For a job or?
No, for on camera, just about what I'm doing with the community and my events.
I see.
So, you know, after one of my events, I'm like, you know what? The news reporters, like, they were getting all the camera time, and it was kind of like, why didn't I like do better? Or like, why didn't they ask me more questions? It was kind of like goofing off, and you know, their little segments, they're hella fun or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like, damn, I want to actually like get some fucking words out there and like make a difference, you know,
Yes.
on the whatever. And then so one day they're like, you know what? Yesi, Cody with the bow tie, he was like, he messaged me. He's like, oh, my producer loved you. You know, they want to invite you on again. And I'm like, okay, well, this fucking time I'm going to take more control of the conversation and where it's going.
Yes.
And so I hired my coach. And we did like maybe like a couple sessions before the interview. And she taught me how to take control of the conversation. And if you watch the interview, I'll send it to you. You can really see how I even got probably a couple extra minutes of camera time when they were trying to get me off.
Yeah.
But I really took control. And honestly, after that, like, shit started popping off with them. It took a little bit, like a close to a year for me to get a real job offer from Paramount Studios.
They own Good Day?
They own a lot of, it's like a Paramount Studios is an umbrella for a lot of different news networks.
Wow, really?
KOVR, CBS, 60 Minutes.
Fox 40?
Probably. Yeah. There's a whole list. And so, yeah, that's why
I had no idea.
I had to apply with Paramount Studios.
The media controls
Right. I'm like, fuck, now I'm going to be corporate. That's crazy. It's crazy because, you know, I had to change up a little bit. Like for a little bit, like I was taking posts down. I was archiving a lot of posts because I was told to be very careful. Like I couldn't really be huffing and puffing out there like that. That's why my page is now private.
Oh, okay.
And then I made Yesi.bomb. So I'm like, all right, Yesi.bomb. I have all these backup pages, you know? But I'm like, all right, that's the one where I can probably like be blazing on and like, it's a 420 page, you know, a lot of the weed community follows me on there. So I'm like, all right, there I can be myself a little bit more. Yesi.com, eventually I want it to be public again, you know, just for the engagement. It was a higher engagement. But yeah, I had to like tone that down a little bit. That's why like there's not as many posts as there used to be on my page.
I see. And right now they don't trip about you smoking? Like when this goes out, they're not gonna like...
I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not doing fucking crack. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not doing crack.
And if you drink a bottle of wine blacked out, that'd have been perfectly okay.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
Do they train the report? No, this is just me being nosy now. Do they train the reporters, or do they just give you like a segment and tell you, hey, go talk to this business?
All my stuff is like just me.
Really?
And so when I, like one of the big events that I hosted with like small businesses, I coached them all a little bit.
Yes.
There was like more than 18 of them. And I told them all, I'm like, listen, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. It's always the same 3 questions. Like, what is your why, or how did you start, and why is it that you do what you do? What is it that you sell, and how can we reach you? So that way it's a little bit scripted, and then they're not like, like I was before, or like, you know,
Yes.
you want to prepare them. You want to give them a good interview, so they can make a bigger impact. You know what I mean?
And it's their like 15 seconds of fame, like we like to say. Exposure is always good for your business. I think all exposure is always good. What's that one saying is there's no such thing as
Bad publicity.
Bad publicity is good publicity, something like that.
For sure. I mean, even for sure, like even recently, like one of my old friends that I deleted an episode, she was talking shit about me publicly on social media and like saying all this type of shit, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh, it's funny because you used to fucking tell me you love me, but okay. And even like seeing all the nasty shit she put out there about me, people didn't judge me. People loved me even more.
I think because they know the real you. And was it just personal, or was it something you did? I'm just being nosy at this point.
I think she took it personal, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. I'm just honest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I wasn't disrespectful, but I think that when people don't get their way, and then when they start getting fucking weird with you, and it started to make me feel like, you had an ulterior motive, and you wanted to probably use me just for some shit.
Intentions.
Yeah.
I always look at people's intentions.
Yeah.
Even if they let me down or don't go up to my standards, I always look, did you try, or were you trying to sabotage me? Or I think intentions are everything.
For sure.
Because even people mess up, people make mistakes. But if your intentions were right, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
No pasa nada.
No pasa nada. It's all good.
I love to say that. What's been I know you said like on the flowers there's no special event, but in the Good Day Sacramento, has there been like a favorite business you've been like had a lot of fun with or were able to interview?
Diane, Venus Fitness Studio. They made me do push-ups on TV.
Was it because Cody called you out? I seen that segment.
Yeah.
I seen that.
And
took off the jacket and everything.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But that was a lot of fun, and mostly because she is a woman business owner, and it's an all women's gym. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's an all women's gym.
All women's gym.
That's rare.
Yeah, and it's the only one I know of in the Central Valley, in the 209. And,
what's it called again?
Venus Fitness Studio.
Venus Fit. Go check that out, guys. Or ladies, I mean ladies. Women.
Yeah, ladies only, all ages. There's a lot of more mature women that go there, and some of these bitches are like 50 plus, and they're fucking lifting more than me. They're competing on a stage, and so it was important for me to show her love on the news because I really believe in what she does, and she really gives a fuck, and she's so authentic, so real. I wouldn't want to put anybody on the news that I didn't believe in, or like I felt like, oh, if you were going to hit them up, they were not going to take care of you. You know what I mean?
Because it's almost like you're endorsing them, but by standing next to them and all that,
for sure,
like being positive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's the day you did 3 segments, correct?
Yeah, and then Ryan too. I fucking love Ryan. Sanctuary Pizza, my favorite pizza.
I need to try that. Man. You make that look so good. I'm missing out.
Ryan's my boy. The other day he made a pizza for me, and he wasn't even open.
What's the name of the pizzeria?
Sanctuary Pizza. He's mobile. He's damn near booked for this whole year.
Not even surprised.
You should probably start booking him next year.
Yeah. No. Does it? He's mobile. Does he have a brick and mortar restaurant?
No, he has a brick oven.
Brick oven.
Beautiful brick oven. And he travels and caters only.
If I want to slice, how do I get in contact?
You have to catch him at a pop-up.
Oh,
or you just got to like be in town on a day when I got it like that, and be like, okay, let me roll through. I'm all Ryan. Let me get a pizza, boo-boo.
You sold me. That's why. No, that pizza looks fire, guys. And if you guys check out Sanctuary's Pizza, I think it's going to be good. No, I love that.
I'm fucking hungry now.
The munchies are hitting with
They are.
What's been your favorite thing about working with Good Day?
Being able to okay, so you know how I started Valley Pop-Up? My goal with that was to like put people out there, and like my network became their network because I want to promote them. I want people to make money.
Yes.
And so now with Good Day Sacramento, for example, one day when I put, I had like a 3-hour segment, and we had all those businesses there that I was like, that I told you I coached a little bit. Well, my friend Journey by CMOS, Stephanie, she was with us. And one of the most rewarding things after, and it's not all about the money. You know what I mean? We do this because we like fucking love it. And, we believe in each other. But when we can make a little bit of money, I mean, shit, when I can help someone make some fucking money, and that makes a difference in their lives, because people have kids, people have families they need to provide for at the end of the day. And so one of the most rewarding things was like seeing my friend after her segment, like 10 minutes later, she showed me her email. Fucking orders were coming in. They were coming in hot. I'm getting the chills, dude. They were coming in hot. And like we had a little moment, and I mean, like, I still had to keep going, but I got a little choked up because, I believe in her, and that's the whole point. It's like I want to help people make some money.
Wow,
because I know how hard it is to be a small business. And if I can highlight these people on the news, the people that really deserve it too. I don't just put anybody on the fucking news. Like I'll do my little research, and like if you give back to the community, like what are you doing for your community? You know what I mean? And I want to put those people on first. Like. Oh,
so you have a say on who gets on?
I get to choose.
You get to choose. Oh, I thought they just told you who to go interview. Oh, that's dope. So.
That's one of the reasons I got the job, is because I'm so connected to people, and I know about all these events. They're like, you know what, we want you to cover events, and eventually I'm going to be on the news on Saturdays and probably even Sundays. But I'm going to be promoting like events throughout the whole, even here, Sacramento. I can go to Sacramento, probably Manteca, Central Valley.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
This is so dope. And when did you start?
I'm supposed to start next week, but
Oh, okay. Oh, so you were just a freelancer?
Freelancer.
Got it.
But I wasn't getting like paid for it.
Yeah.
Sean, the camera guy, he would meet me at my locations and we would be on a timer like, all right, we got to go. We got to go. And it was just, the rush is so much fun. It's so much fun. I love it.
It sounds so exciting and beautiful.
Is.
And you're changing people's lives. That story with the your friend and the emails coming in, like that, because sales money, it does change people's lives. It does change, and that's so dope. You're making a very positive impact.
Thank you.
And I don't think there's nobody better. So I think good job on Good Day for getting you in.
Thank you.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. And I'm gonna try to help out if any business owners are listening. If they want to potentially, hopefully, like be part of an online segment, they have to. I'm not gonna say this is like a for sure chance, but what are some things they can do to like maybe get like you to peek at them? Or
I mean, I love to see accounts that are engaged on the daily because I do, and so I like people who are engaged. I like people who are themselves. And I love people who give back a little bit. So if maybe I see someone that gives back, I may be more inclined to pick them.
I see.
Yeah.
One tip. Tell me if this is a tip or not. I just because based on how I engage with people, I like to see a face. Even though you're making food or even though you're making handmade jewelry or whatever, I want to see the person behind it.
Yeah.
Because if I just see products, don't get me wrong, it might be delicious, it might be great, but I think that human connection is what like makes me purchase or follow.
Yeah, you don't want to just feel like you're sold on something.
Yes.
I'm
gonna ask you now the questions that were asked when I posted up that post that you were coming on. First one, I'm not gonna say his name, but he knows who he is. I want to know if she's gonna do shrooms with me at Revolution this year.
Ooh, okay. If he fucks with Revolution, meet me at Stanford in August.
What's Revolution though? I don't know. What
it's a reggae band. They're my favorite band in the entire world, and I'll probably have some little shroomy bars with me. Here, I took a little piece earlier today, but these are my favorite right now. What are they called? The microchips.
Wow, how many? What's in them? Like milligrams or?
That one's a 4-gram bar, or there's 12 pieces, 4 grams total in that bitch. I took one. I felt pretty chill earlier. I think I have a higher tolerance too. So maybe if I take 3, I'm gonna take like maybe 4 tonight when I go to the fucking movies. Oh, go see a scary movie off of shrooms.
No, thank you.
Crazy bitch. But yeah, I'm down to do shrooms with you, boo.
He said. Hey, you heard it here. Another one. I had like 5 people ask me, but you already answered. Are you single? Yes.
I am single.
Should they bother or no? The guy in SoCal is serious.
Should he bother?
No, should they bother?
I mean, I'm single.
All right, she's single, fellas. Tap in. She's single. Until there's a label on it, it's all free.
I told him, I said, there ain't no label on it, honey. This all mine right here.
Somebody asked, how long have you been part of Good Day Sacramento?
Well, officially like maybe a month. I haven't gone on there officially. Like maybe in the next couple of weeks you'll see me like my first official like and now I'm getting paid type of shit, But I've been being interviewed like for at least 2 years now.
2 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've been interviewing me for at least 2 years.
And they've interviewed the pop-up,
my flower babies, and that's it. My flower babies I was interviewed like maybe 2 to 3 times. Yeah.
For a second, I don't know why I thought you were gonna. Because when I was looking you up, I thought you were gonna pop up in a segment of the plant lady.
The plant lady?
Yeah, they have like a little segment of the plant lady.
Oh, really? I think they do actually. I've seen Tina put one of her friends on there, and she had plants.
For how can we be better plant owners? How do you protect them against like the heat, like the sun?
Plants or flowers. So fresh flowers, you don't want to put directly in sunlight. You don't want to put them by your window. I've made that mistake. You're like, oh, I want to put them by the window so everybody could see my beautiful flowers and this so they can get some sun. No, they don't need sun, especially like hydrangeas, or depending on the type of flower. Flowers are very sensitive. Their petals are very sensitive. Even roses, those are like nice hardy flowers. However, like if you put them by the sun, they're going to wilt a lot quicker. And the thing is that the water is going to get hot when it's by the sun, and they need cool water to survive, like especially tulips. During Easter, a lot of you motherfuckers buy tulips. You know what I mean? Trim them every other day. When you trim them, clean the water. You can put a little bit of bleach in there. The bleach will kill some of the bacteria. Also, I've put pennies in there because the acidity in copper helps fight bacteria.
Really? That's a good tip.
Yeah, so you can do little things like that. I never use the flower food my flowers would come with. I would just like do these little things. But as long as you trim them and you change the water, and of course my number one rule is you got to talk to your flower babies and your plants. But I say flower babies because that's my business.
Yes. That's trademarked.
I need to, shit.
And last question is, what is Yesi's favorite flower?
The Casablanca lily.
Casablanca lily.
It looks like a white oriental lily, but the Casablanca, you can tell if it's a Casablanca lily. The stem is a lot thicker.
Are they exotic? Or are they hard to find? Are they like no?
They're from like South America.
Can you like go to Lowe's and buy them?
No.
Oh, okay. That's
You can hardly get them you can't get them really at a grocery store, or you might have to special order them, or even go to the Bay Area. I've seen people at flower shops in the Bay Area, they have more of those because probably they have more access to the flower mart.
Imports and stuff.
But around here, I haven't seen Casablanca lilies. Those bitches ain't cheap. You know what I mean? And you could just tell because one of them bitches, like just one bloomed flower, will make this whole room smell.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And if you have any type of lily that has pollen on it, put the lily upside down. Like say this is the flower and I put it upside down. You pull the pollen out this way, because if you do it this way and then the pollen powder falls on your flower, it's going to damage your flower and make it wilt and make it like turn orange and brown.
Yeah. You know your stuff.
Yeah. So
you know your whole stuff.
You probably just asked me like one tip and I gave you like a whole list.
No, it was almost another language to me. I just know plant, seed, water, sunlight. You went into all the details.
Yeah.
So there's your tip, guys. So what does the future hold for Yesi.com, Flower Baby Designs, Good Day? I know you're about to start. That's really exciting. Any goals for the end of the year, right? It's about to be your birthday. You have a lot of things going.
I do. One big goal that I have this year is to have a team of like 2 people at least that can help me with my flower business, because I would love to exit that business and focus on maybe something else, or maybe just living my fucking life, you know?
You've always been on, right? Like have you ever like took a year off?
No.
It just sounds like you're always going.
I've been working since the age of 15. You know what I mean? Brendan Theaters is my first job. I worked at Galaxy Theaters. I worked at a car shop here in Modesto, over there in Modesto. But I've been working since 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So that's why lately I've been chilling, dude.
But I don't think you would have what you have today if you weren't how you were.
It's just what I needed to do, you know? Like everything, they say everything happens for a reason, and I don't, like I said, I don't have any regrets about my life. I don't have any really complaints. Everything happens for a reason, the good and the bad. I appreciate it all.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So Flower Baby Design, hopefully get 2 people. Yesi.com, more episodes in the future?
More episodes, and I need to launch my merch. I have some designs. It's a very simple line, but I just need to put it out there and really make the time for it.
Yes.
My brand, you know?
And Good Day, you're just going to see where it takes you?
Good Day, they wanted me full-time. I'm going to start part-time to finish off, hopefully finish off the rest of the weddings that I have.
Are you booked?
I'm not accepting any more work. I'm tapped out for what I can do.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
That's a good problem to have.
It is.
That's a great problem to have.
So that's why I'm like, all right, eventually I'll be full-time with the news. That's my goal. And then hopefully start to build a fucking family with someone. I would love to.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm a big believer. This is just kind of off topic. I'm a big believer in God. I think God always has his timing.
A lot of people say that, you know. I'm not like a religious person, but I believe in a higher power for sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I believe that there's something out there, and as long as you believe in something, there's hope. You know what I mean?
Yes. wrapping it up here, there's this quote. I'm gonna read it to you. You posted it, and I just want you to elaborate a little bit on it. You can be the most book smart person ever and have the best ideas, but without emotional intelligence, you'll never be the best leader.
Mm-hmm. So there's this book on leadership that I'm reading, a book I picked up at an airport, and it talks about a lot about emotional intelligence, and how it affects everything, and how you should treat people in every aspect in life. You know what I mean? And I really truly believe, like, if you're not emotionally intelligent, meaning you can't be empathetic towards others, like you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes for a minute and, think about what they may be going through. If you're not a compassionate human being, how are you going to be good at life? Because there's going to be one day when some shit goes down for you and, God forbid, like anything bad on anybody, but it's just life and it happens that way. You're going to need people in your corner to show you those things so that you can feel love. You know what I mean? Because when people don't feel love, they're angry people. They're misunderstood people. They just act out. And like, literally, I sound like a fucking hippie, but love is the way. You know what I mean?
I think it almost takes us back to how we first interacted. What was the post you put out? Were you asking what is love? Or
I don't know.
It was something about love, right? What is love to you?
Love is just not judging one another and being understanding.
What do you think is the most important person to love?
The most important person to love is yourself.
Yes.
Because even for me, I know I didn't always love myself. I didn't always treat myself right, and I allowed others, and that's probably why people didn't treat me right, It's like, hello, makes so much sense, but I think you definitely have to focus on loving yourself, and then you're going to attract what's for you. I was attracting a lot of bad things before, and it's because I was faking the funk too. I was just believing that I'm like okay, but I'm not okay.
Honesty and accountability and all these factors. And with all respect, the person you describe or you talk about that you were back then, I can't even imagine. The person I'm talking to right now is not the same woman that was out in LA, whatever. Like, you have evolved, and like, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
This is awesome. Like, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun, and I think I learned a lot. Business, flowers, sales, marketing. Like, I can't wait for what the future holds for you. Where can the people follow you?
They can follow me at Yesi.com, Flower Baby Designs. So these are on Instagram. Flower Baby Designs, Good Day Yesi, and industrynights.ca for all cannabis events.
My weed smokers, my television watchers, my podcast listeners, and my flower lovers, tap in, keep a lookout for Yesi.com. Thank you so much for being here. This was a lot of fun. That's it, raza. Till the next one.
Cuídense. Love you guys.
Sí se puede.